With the protests now seen in Bahrain, Yemen and Libya, the spread of unrest could continue across the region. For more on this, let's talk to researcher Arash Aramesh, who joins us via Skype from Washington. Arash, thanks so much for joining us this morning. What will the clampdown in Bahrain mean for the other protest movements in the region?
The uprisings in the region that started in Tunisia a few weeks back went to Egypt, and now it has spread to the little kingdom of Bahrain in the Persian Gulf. It is very hard now to predict what's going to happen next. But what is really clear to us here observing the events in the region is that there are illegitimate governments in the region throughout the Arab world and also in Iran that have very little legitimacy with the majority of the populations. They have resorted to various measures in the past few decades to keep the population in check. And now, with the massive popular uprisings on their hands, they're having a hard time quenching their people.
And Arash, how important is international reaction to the movement for change in the region?
It's very important, especially with countries that have good ties with the West. Bahrain is home to the U.S. Fifth Fleet. There's a huge naval and marine presence in Bahrain. And today we heard Secretary of State Hillary Clinton talking about restraint, asking the government of Bahrain to show restraint and not use violence against the peaceful demonstrators in Bahrain. But international pressure does matter, and it's important, as it did matter in the case of Egypt, and it did matter in the case of Tunisia. And it's important for the people in the region to know that the free world and the West is on their side and does sympathize and support their ambitions for free, for freedom and for self-determination.
Can we expect anything more from the US than just urging them to consider the demands of the protesters?
The U.S. is in a very tough position. The administration of President Barack Obama has to consider several factors. One is, again, as I mentioned, the large presence of thousands of American troops in the region, in Bahrain. It's the largest home of the U.S. Navy in the region. And also, as you know, the U.S. is involved in Iraq and in Afghanistan. The Fifth Fleet there, supports the Central Command, and it's right there in the middle of American involvement. Now, can we expect more? I hope so. I certainly hope so. But what has happened is, for instance, today I heard a member of House of Lords, Patrick Clan-William, say on a different channel that Bahrain was a beacon of democracy in the region. And he downplayed what has happened in Bahrain. He said only a fraction of a percent have shown up in Bahrain. Not people in the region, when they hear comments like that coming from a British member of the House of Lords, his lordship should know that these comments not only don't they serve the interests of the Bahraini government, and they also don't serve the interests of England and the United States.
Okay, Arash Aramesh, thanks so much for joining us from Washington this morning.